Cool. Welcome everyone. This is, I think, one of the first webinar sessions that we're going to have this weekend. It is Thursday or Wednesday, and depending on which part of the world you're in. My name's Jason, and I work for Oracle as a cloud engineer, and I'm one of the lead mentors. We've got KY up on screen as well. He's one of the mentors as well. And we've got Lynn helping out from a marketing and logistics angle on the call. So before we get started, I'd like to thank the organisers, Hackmakers, and all the other sponsors for making this possible. I also want to thank and acknowledge the traditional landowners of the different places that we're at, both past, present, and future. So this session that we've got here is really an intro in terms of the Oracle platform, a couple of things that you may be interested on using, and how we've got and just a case of who's the team and how can we help you through this journey. So KY, in terms of moving over to, in terms of our mission statement and what we're trying to do and what we are doing is really aligns to this hackathon in many different ways. So this being an AI hackathon, all that data, it just made a lot of sense for us to be involved as part of this process. So KY, I'm really excited that we're actually going to kick things off, and be good to see what we've got on offer and what people can do with it.
Yep, same here. So thanks for the introductions and openings. So let me just share with you what we have. So let's jump into the focus, our focus on the analytics and the ML projects. So we all understand in order to start an ML project. So first of all, let me just get a pointer quickly so I can point where am I. All right. So first of all, number one is to access the data. All right. To find the data, ingest data, and combine data, that will be one of the key activities that you need to do. And after that, you will build your models. All right. For some cases, it's a complex life cycles. You need to find the right tools, right infrastructures, right compute to have that resources for you to run your models. And secondly, you need to be able to have that versioning control so that you can reuse and retrain the models. And of course, the third part will be make sure that you're able to monitor your result of your models and then continue to improve and update. So with that, let's move on. So with that, with the hackathons that we're looking at, there were three key components, or the three cloud services that we will introduce to you today. We'll start with the Oracle Machine Learning. All right, it supports multi-roles and it actually built in within the Oracle Data Management. And then followed by the OCI, or Oracle Cloud Infrastructure's data science platforms. It is a collaborative platform that allow data science, all right, to do the codings using Python, and then you can actually share that across multiple developers. And of course, once you have all the models and results, the most important thing now is that you want to visualize and present back to the judges. I think you need to do that, and we will introduce you, Oracle Cloud Analytics, to how to visualize and unveil the data insights. All right. Let's start with the first one, the Oracle Machine Learning. Now, as you can see, this is a general flow, right? From your left will be the data sources, and then you have the data ingestions. You actually bring the data into the data management. Either will be the flat files or any of the stream open source data. You bring it into a data management platforms. In this case, we call it the autonomous data warehouse, which has the Oracle Machine Learning inbuilt, right? And you can actually run that model within that data management platforms. Once that model's result has been generated, you can actually visualize through the Oracle Analytics Clouds and present back to the judges or even to your own developers. Now, there's also another ways you can actually take the data direct from the OCI object storage as well, right? So just want to highlight here. Let me just do a quick drawing. So what we're going to focus for the OML, just give you some ideas. So this will be the path from the data ingestions, data management, and the Oracle Analytics Clouds, all right? And just let's talk about the quick introduction. What is the Oracle machine learning? I'll go to the next slides. Wait, hold on. Let me just move to the next slides. Here you go. Now, Oracle machine learning is included in autonomous data warehouse, which also means the data management. Now, what it means here is that once you manage to ingest or load the data into the autonomous data warehouse, all right, you can straight away run the models within the database. Now, for those people that are familiar with the notebooks, it's easy to use. There is the versioning controls, all right? You can actually have the permissions to make sure that there's no one overrides your notebooks. And then there also has the in database machine learning algorithms, and you can actually easily call out and use it. Without further ado, let me play a quick video demo so that you can have a good sense what is the Oracle machine learning, all right? Let me share my computer sounds and I'll hit play.
Everybody has had the problem of picking the right bottle of wine for a party. We are going to use the machine learning built into autonomous database to help us out by predicting which regions we should consider for a given price point and variety. To understand the dataset, we can start by exploring it in Oracle Analytics. Here, for example, you can see a graph of average prices by country of higher quality wines scoring over 90 points. We can also compare higher and lower quality wines of a specific variety. Now, a data scientist can also use the built-in notebook interface to explore the data. For example, here we can look at feature selection to see which data attributes are most important, letting us build the most accurate model in less time. Once we have trained the model, we can test it using the remaining 40% of the data that we held back. Model accuracy is very important when it comes to machine learning. This chart, called a confusion matrix, enables us to evaluate the model and compares accurate predictions with false positives and negatives to tell us that this model is 75% accurate and ready to deploy. Finally, if we want an advice for our next party, we can use Oracle Analytics to visualize the results and learn that if you want a good Cabernet Sauvignon Syrah, then how much should we shell out? And these are the 6 regions that we should be looking at and skipping the others. Thank you.
All right, so there's a quick introduction how easy you can actually use the Oracle machine learning built in with the Oracle autonomous data warehouse. Once the data inside there, you can see that how easy they can do the pricing of the wine, right? Using all the built-in algorithms and then present back in the Oracle Analytics. I hope this gives you some ideas, all right? How Oracle machine learning components within the autonomous data warehouse. Let me move on to the next one, which is the OCI data science. All right, again, I'm going to share with you on the flow. All right, so on the OCI data science platform is another platform that you can use to create and collaborate the models. Now, the critical part here, same, we will still go through the data ingestions. All right. And what's next here is that you can actually move it into the autonomous data warehouse. Now, the difference now is that you are not going to use the machine learning within the autonomous warehouse. We can use this component here, which is the OCI data science, where allow you to have the collaborations with multiple developers and leverage on the open source languages such as Python. Once your models has been delivered inside here, you have 2 choices. Either you straight away present the information direct to the users, or you can actually bring down to the OAC and then create another visualization on top of that, and then finalize the reports back, right? Without further ado, let me just go to the next slide. Then I explain a bit more what is the data science platform. So as you can see, as I mentioned just now, it allows you to have a collaborative, scalable environments. It leverages on most of the open source languages, such as Python, Jupyter's, and the visualizations that they use will be polys and map Matplotlibs. It has its AI and ML's libraries and algorithms as well, and mostly are from the open source. And for the versioning controls, if you're familiar with GitHubs and GitLabs, you'll be easy to use this, all right? Because OCI data science is actually using all these tools. So what is the benefit here? Well, it's simplified, it saves times, and you can get the result fast, all right? So with that you can actually work together and then make sure that you get there are multiple developers, and then you go versioning controls well. Let me just show you a quick videos and give you a good overview. Then you get a good sense how easy to create the OCI data science. Let me play the video.
You can build, train, deploy, and manage machine learning models with Oracle Cloud Infrastructure Data Science. Start by launching a session in Jupyter Lab where you can write code in Python. Oracle's Jupyter Lab environment offers a variety of open source libraries for building machine learning models. It also includes Oracle's Accelerated Data Science Library, or ADS. ADS is an easy-to-use Python interface that covers the entire lifecycle of machine learning models. It provides a series of APIs on data ingestion, data profiling and visualization, automated feature engineering, automated machine learning, model evaluation, and model interpretation. It's everything you need in a unified Python SDK. With a simple line of code, you can automate model training through the ADS AutoML API. ADS can help you find the best data transformations for your datasets. After the model evaluation shows that your model is ready for production, you can make it accessible to anybody who needs to use it. Using Oracle functions, create a REST API endpoint for your model, then push the Docker image containing the model to Oracle Cloud Infrastructure Registry and execute the function. With Oracle Cloud Infrastructure Data Science, it's easy to build and train models and deploy them for everyone to use.
All right, that's a quick intro on the OCI data science platforms. It actually shows you how easy to use, and most importantly, it uses all the open source language such as Python. Right? If you're familiar with Python, then this is something that you would like to use it. The final components that I mentioned just now, the three parts. One is the Oracle Machine Learning. Second will be the Oracle OCI data science platform. The last will be the Oracle Analytics Cloud. This is a platform where you have all the results, and then you want to present the insights. Well, within the Oracle Analytics Cloud, there is something called data flow, which also allows you to ingest, all right, or load the data, or do some ingestions, cleaning, transformations. So it's something that you can actually leverage on. Besides that, there's a natural language processing. It also means that you can actually straight away create the queries or any of the results. Basically, you don't need to have much query syntax. Drag and drop, the Oracle Analytics will understand that and present you the results. Now, this is the thing that will be very helpful for you. So if you have a huge set of data, you need to do data profiling, you need to do data explorations. You can actually leverage on the Oracle Analytics Cloud to do that. He has a built-in machine learning models to give you a quick understanding and result what is your data look like, and then you can get some hints what should you do next. Lastly, within the Oracle Analytics Cloud, it also has the machine learning models. All right, as you can see, they actually leverage on the data flows. Within the data flows, there is some of the models like linear regressions, random forests. This algorithm you can actually apply within the Oracle Analytics Cloud. All right. Without further ado, since we have already seen two demos through the videos, what I'm going to do now is show you the Oracle Analytics Cloud through a quick live demo to give you a sense how easy to use this. All right. Let me change my screen into Oracle Analytics Cloud. There you go. Now, as you can see in my screen, this is the Oracle Analytics Cloud. And what I'm going to do now is that if I got a data set, what I'm going to do, I click on create data sets, and it will prompt me where to create a new data set. So in this case, I'm going to have a flat files. All right, I'm going to open a folders. And the files are going to drag and drop inside here. Now, once I do that, it will show you load up into the Oracle Analytics. I can see it gives you a quick preview how the data look like. If you want to do any of the transformations, you can actually do it here. If you're happy with it, you can just straight away click Add, and you're ready to create your analysis and profilings on this data. So what you can do now here is that I can create project on the top right. I can see here, I click on create projects. It will bring me to the visualization canvas. And just now I mentioned one of the key features. Once you got the data sets and you need to start to understand the data. So you do data explorations, you do data profilings. What you can leverage is the one-click explain features. All right. For example, now I want to start with cost center, but I don't know what I don't know. So I can leverage on the explain cost center features, and then to let Oracle Analytics to tell me what is cost center. And straight away, it used the machine learning behind and tell me that there's 3 types of cost centers. All right. Finance, marketing, and sales. I will select this. And follow down, you can see some of the recommendations from the Oracle Analytics machine learning and tell you that why don't you look at expense amount with cost center, or maybe previous year's amount with cost center, in policy expense, out policy expense, and vice versa. In this demo, I'm going to select both, right? Expense amount, previous amount, and also this lovely donut chart. What I can do next is that once I select those, I add selected. It will bring me to this canvas, and I can start to do more visualizations and more data explorations. Now, as you can see, this is by the row count. I can easily do the swap, change the expense amount, drag, drop, change it. Now we can see this is actually distributed by all expenses. If I want to know more, what are the expenses type, I can actually drag any of the dimensions, pull it into the visualizations, and then it can change, right? You can see. I also can easily change the type of the visualizations. Now, let's say this is donut, I change this to a sunburst so that I can see 2 dimensions in one. Now I can see I got marketing and type of expenses. I also can easily swap against the cost center and the expenses so that I can see what are the huge contribution from the marketing, and easily I can see airfare is the highest, right? And then followed by per diem claims. Followed here is that if I want to do year-to-year comparisons, right? I can easily just do this. This is the previous year. I can just select the expense amount, put it here side by side, and then I can change this to the bar, and straight away I can give me a view of the this year versus last year's comparisons. And lastly, if I got this question, I want to see the trend. What happened from January until now? I can do the trending by change the dimension as below. All right, cost center, I change it to the month. As you can see now, it's distributed from January all the way to December. As you're familiar, if I want to do trending, the best visualization will be line. So I can easily change this to the line. All right. And there you go. You can see the patterns and the trendings that there's a spike somewhere in July to September. Now, within Oracle Analytics, I want to show you something here. So if there also has a built-in predictive functions. If I want to know what will happen in the next 3 months, I can apply add statistics, forecast, and here it will just straight away take the data of the historical data and perform a quick prediction of the next forecast 3 months. All right. So this is a quick introduction on the Oracle Analytics. I show you how easy you can bring the data sets into the Oracle Analytics and then do some quick data profilings, data explorations, and then do a quick forecasting. I hope this is something that will be helpful for your later hackathons. And with that, I will go back to my presentations. All right. All right. It will be the summary of all the 3 components that we have. So let me just take up my pointer, right? Okay, first we talk about the ML within the autonomous database. The first options you can actually get the model is to push the data into the autonomous database. All right, two ways. One is that you go through the ingestions. Either you use the Python libraries or you use the Oracle Analytics to ingest the data into the autonomous database, and then you can leverage the Oracle machine learning within autonomous database. Once that's ready, you will able to present the model result onto the Oracle Analytics Clouds. The other way, you can actually push the data into the OCI object storage, and then from there you can actually ingest the data into the autonomous database, all right, and then leverage on the Oracle machine learning. Now, once the data inside the OSC object storage, you can also push that into the OCI data science, all right? Means that you don't need to leverage on the Oracle machine learnings on the autonomous database. You can actually use the data science directly read the data files from the object storage. With that, you can straight away write your Python codes and then create the models and the result and represents direct to your judges, or push it down to Oracle Analytics, which I just showed you just now. And then you can create more visualization on that and then present back. I think that's pretty much. Just anything you want to add on?
Yeah, I really like the ADS toolkit that we've got, which allows you to really look at your data and then look at those recommendations about as far as what you do. So if you think about how you define your features, or what is your level of confidence, and which ones is your data set the right set to actually work with, then that's a really good place. And the toolkit actually does a lot of the heavy lifting around getting that understanding around the data. The other bit that I like what you talked there is that from a data science perspective is once you've got the model, you can create them as executables within that Oracle functions layer and create APIs from it. So if you are intending to build applications using that model, then you've got a simple way of actually presenting that and incorporating that back for your developers. So thanks, KY. What I'm going to do is just flick over to my screen for a little bit. And over on this screen. So what we've got on screen here is not just the things that we talked about, but also the things that you have all available within the Oracle Cloud. So I won't go through all of it, but just as a snapshot, there's a lot more that you can do with it, depending on what the problem that you're trying to hit. So, and as part of what we're doing here, we're using the Oracle free, always free, as well as the free trial as part of the event. So they're always free. There's a set of services that you can get access to, being the database, the compute, if you need to actually deploy some apps and that you can do that right there and then. But we've also got the free trial that's actually on offer, as I mentioned. With what we're doing here for this particular hackathon, we've actually increased the limit from $300 USD to $500, thanks to Lynn, as well as enabling a quick experience in terms of just give me your email and then register that, and then we can register you for this, and you don't need any credit cards. We can get you onto this environment as quickly as we can. So just to let you know who's on offer to help, we've got Lynn, myself, and KY, but we've got a group of mentors that can actually help you along the way. We'll be available online most of the time. We've actually got we've set up a channel around. If you've got any questions, then Help with Oracle is the channel that we've got everyone in. But we will also be monitoring the other channels to see what's actually where everyone else is, and to help in general. But if you do want to get access to the Oracle trial, there's a link there, and just give us your first name, last name, and your email, and we can get you started as soon as we can.
We have a question there, Jason, as well.
Question is what type of maths do I need to have training in to better understand the ML? Well, if you're referring to the academics mathematics, what is the areas? That will be statistics, all right? Statistics maths will help a lot to understand the probabilities of the results. But having said that, if you ask what can help you to get yourself prepared for the hackathons for the ML, I think by going through the whole syllabus of the statistics will not be enough time. So good thing here is that in Oracle Machine Learning and also the OCI data platform, it actually has a guided ML components. What it means here is that you don't need to be a great mathematicians to do it. What you need to do here is to find out the right data elements, put that into it, and then it will generate the results. And what you need to do here is that to verify the result percentage, whether how high is the accuracy, and then from there you can fine tune by putting in more attributes or more data elements, and then to get much better results. I hope that answers your questions. Justin, anything you want to add on from there?
Yeah, I think the Oracle Analytics Cloud does a great job where you don't necessarily need to know the math behind the algorithms. So as an example, with the data flows, all you do need to know is what is the result and what's the type of result. So am I doing a binary classification, or am I doing a multi-class classification? What am I tuning for? So it becomes more about understanding the output around the models, as well as then focusing more about the data and the quality of data. So what is the question, and does the data actually support the machine learning that you're trying to do?
Yep.
Cool. So yeah, we're going to be online most of the time. I've been around the Slack channel for the last, I think, when it first opened a couple of days ago. So plenty of questions in there. We are in there, so we're in the Slack channel. So if you want to tag us on a message, do a direct message to us, or I've got a Calendly. If you do find that you want to book a session with us to talk about a particular topic, whether it's Oracle, whether it's actually about the hackathon, about the pitch, any of those things, happy to help. So I'll close it up here. Thanks for everyone's time. It'd be great. It's going to be great seeing how everyone goes over the next couple of days, next few days, and those final submissions. So good to see everyone. Thanks, KY. Thanks, Lynn. We'll close it up there. Thank you.
Thank you. See you later. Bye.